Hi, I'm Steve Poole, Vision New England, and today we're here with our friends from Emmanuel Gospel Center in Boston. Emmanuel Gospel Center is one of the nation's oldest and most respected parachurch ministries, founded in 1938. They do applied research, consulting, and a host of other things which we hope to expose and talk about here in the next few moments. Primarily, and more than anything, Emmanuel Gospel Center is a servant to the urban church. I am delighted to have our friends with us today, Jeff Bass, Liza Cagua-koo, and Mark Yoon. We are so grateful to have you with us today. And we just want to talk about your ministry a little bit, past, present, future. And I'll start with you, Jeff, and then we'll just go around the table. If you could just introduce yourself and just say a couple of words about what it is that you do at EGC.
So I'm the executive director of the Gospel Center. I've been here for over 20 years. I'm actually a civil engineer by training, but I got sort of pulled into church-based ministry and really enjoy it.
Awesome, awesome. Liza.
Yes, I'm Liza Cagua-koo, as you mentioned. I serve as the center's assistant director. I work alongside Jeff, providing leadership to the overall organization and especially partnering a lot with the programs and helping them achieve their full potential.
Awesome. Thank you, Liza. And Mark, what's your role?
I chair the board of directors at EGC. I look over their shoulders to make sure that things are not going awry.
I see.
And I am a chaplain at Boston University. It's a university chaplain for evangelical students. And I'm so excited to be part of this ministry.
Well, we're delighted to have you with us. Jeff, we want to talk a little bit about background and history, if we could. Tell us something about how and why Emmanuel Gospel Center came to exist.
So actually the roots of the Gospel Center trace back into the 1920s and even before with a ministry called the Little Church on Wheels.
Really?
And they actually it was literally a truck, a flatbed or a little pickup truck that they built a little church building in. And a little tiny thing, the guy would stand in back and preach on the Boston Common. And they would get literally thousands of people, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people coming, and people would come to the Lord, and they would, and ministry sort of formed around that. They would travel to different parts of the city, and it was a preaching station. But they could only do it in nice weather. Oh. And so in the 1930s, in 1938, Newton Presbyterian Church, which is what's now Newton Presbyterian Church, and some of the founders of the center decided they'd bring the ministry inside. And so they got space in the south end of Boston and essentially became a mission to the south end. So from 1938 to the mid-60s, we were a traditional mission. You bring in the poor, the drunks, the youth, the older people, and do a church service and have helping ministries. And in 1964, Doug and Judy Hall, who are still at the center, they'll be celebrating their 50th year at the center next summer. But Doug and Judy came to attend Gordon Conwell Seminary. And they were looking for a ministry that nobody else wanted, and they were thinking they'd become missionaries to India, which never exactly happened, although we do have things we do with India as a result. Yes, you do, and Doug and Judy became the superintendents of this mission in the South End. But Doug and Judy quickly saw that they started to meet the immigrant pastors and people coming to the city, and they realized that helping people one at a time was an additive ministry. Mm-hmm. But if they could get behind the indigenous church, the church planters, the immigrant pastors as they were coming in, the ministry could multiply. And Doug was always thinking about ministry, how do we do it better, how do we learn from the city? And they really started the DNA of the center being a research place, a thinking place, a place to really understand how to do ministry well, and then to get behind urban leadership. And so since the 1960s, the center has been a place where we try to understand how the city is happening, what is God doing in the city. We do intentional research to try to see what's going on, count the churches, really simple things. Get to know the people involved, develop relationships, and then do whatever we can to equip and sustain indigenous Christian leaders.
That's awesome. And you say the word indigenous, and I listened to you tell that story. That sounds like probably came from Doug's missional. It's his desire originally to do missions, and
right.
Because that's a very missional approach, right, to work with indigenous people. I certainly think it's wonderful. Mm-hmm. So today is where we are now, and I want to ask Liza if you could just tell us a little bit about some of the things that the ministry is doing today. Obviously, I mean, from what I know about EGC, we could be here for a long time.
That's right.
So obviously you're going to be selective, Lisa, but what would you like to share with us about what's happening today?
Definitely. I mean, I just really echo what Jeff said in terms of we really like working with leaders. Our mission is to equip leaders to strengthen the urban church in Greater Boston for effective community ministry. And we really believe that by getting behind leaders, they'll be able to lead more effective organizations and therefore have more positive and fruitful impact in their communities. So I work a lot with the center's programs, and I could roughly categorize them in three areas, three types of programs that we have. Programs that serve church-based systems, programs that serve in a specific issue area, and programs that focus more on developing ministry. So I can describe maybe a program in each of those
I was just
to
going
give
to
you
say,
a
could
sense.
you do that? You
Sure,
give us an
absolutely.
example.
Overall, the whole organization, we do a lot of learning, connecting, and equipping. So learning about whatever system we're talking about, connecting with who's already doing ministry in that area, and then hopefully finding leverage points in those systems where the church can really make a difference. And then we equip leaders in those places. So in a situation, for example, like serving church-based systems, we've worked a lot with the Haitian community in the 1960s when there was a much smaller Haitian community here in Boston. It was just the beginnings of the Haitian church community. Only two or three churches existed in those days, and we partnered with the Haitian community to bring along Pastor Saul Vidrine as Haitian minister at large. And so he was just a pivotal person to help people get situated as they came to Boston, help churches get started, and really build the capacity of the Haitian pastors as a community. So that today, there's a Haitian Pastors Fellowship. They're doing all kinds of awesome things. When we had the Haiti earthquake a number of years back, they were in a position to do much more expansive support work both here and in Haiti because of the existence of that pastoral leadership that had been nurtured and encouraged. So that's one of the kinds of work that we do, getting behind a leader like Pastor Saul, giving him a neutral platform so that he's not just a pastor from a church, but because he's from the Emmanuel Gospel Center, he's able to have conversations from a neutral place with a lot of different churches and therefore partner with them more effectively. That's church-based systems. And we also work in a number of issue areas like homelessness, urban education, youth peace, human trafficking. So there's different programs that operate, partner with churches in those areas. Just to describe one that's been a long time program that you probably are familiar with, Starlight Ministries.
Yes.
Their goal, they have been partnering with people to serve people who are homeless, and now they've really been transitioning to help churches become more effective in serving individuals who are homeless. So they've developed an awesome systems map where you can really understand the system of homelessness, help churches understand, where do I fit in, how can I help? And then training, exactly, and creating practical opportunities where the churches can come and serve kind of under the eye of Starlight, gain confidence so they can start their own ministries in their neighborhoods.